Hey everybody, what is going on? This is Caleb with Blockstart, here with a video about how Fortnite could go crypto. Now, unless you've been living under an overturned shopping cart, you've heard of the game Fortnite, or at least the Battle Royale part. It's taken the world by storm, pun intended, and for some numbers here to show you how ridiculously successful Fortnite has been, they've brought in $318 million in the month of May 2018 alone. That is a ridiculous amount of money, and I think there are a few things that are indicative of their success. Now, they've obviously done something right, but I think the three main things that make Fortnite such a huge success is 1, capitalizing on microtransactions, 2, ensuring that items that you can buy in the game don't affect the game mechanics, so like everything you buy is basically cosmetic, and 3, they've set up a really strong community around Fortnite and have really leveraged gamers and streamers on services like Twitch and YouTube, etc., etc. Now, microtransactions have been a huge part of how game monetization has worked for a long time, but I think that there are a lot of ways that Fortnite could take that and switch it into a crypto or blockchain model. Now, we're going to start by first talking about how Fortnite works and how they monetize, and then we'll dive into the good blockchain stuff. So, assuming you don't know, in Fortnite, if you want to buy any items in the store, you need to have V-Bucks, and you can buy V-Bucks for US dollars using, a credit card or debit card or whatever. You load up the V-Bucks, and then you can go into the shop, and you can buy, all the different things that they offer. Different pickaxes, different skins, different back bling, all these different things in the store. And essentially, it's purely cosmetic. There's nothing that's going to affect game mechanics. You can't buy like a super weapon that'll give you an unfair advantage to any other player in the game, which I think is one of the main reasons that Fortnite has such a wide reaching audience. There's so many people that play Fortnite, from 12-year-old kids all the way up to professional league gamers. But basically, it keeps things fresh. There's new items, new skins, and there is kind of a perceived rarity to these items because there is a point at which Epic Games will stop selling certain items, and then the people who bought them at that point will have them, and the others they don't. But that's about as far as it goes, as far as the marketplace and as far as just the economy surrounding Fortnite. Now for the good blockchain stuff. So with microtransactions on the brain, I think there are a couple different ways that Fortnite could adopt a tokenized blockchain ecosystem, and here they are. Number 1, the Epic Games token. Imagine if Epic Games decided to launch their own cryptocurrency called Epic Coin. Let's just call it Epic Coin for now. People could buy or sell this on various exchanges. You might have Bitcoin that you want to exchange for Epic Coin, vice versa. You could use Ethereum, Litecoin, any crypto that the exchange would support. And you could buy an allotment of Epic Coin and store it in your Epic Games wallet. You could use this currency to buy items in the game, and everything would be listed immutably on a blockchain. So this prevents fraud, it prevents, in-app purchase cracks and, stealing things, which Fortnite already does a really great job at, but it would reduce the need for Fortnite to really manage that because of the way that a blockchain works in its immutable, secure manner. There would also be a public record of every transaction ever made, so people couldn't forge receipts and email them into the support team, wasting their time and energy. There would be a database, an immutable ledger, a blockchain, that would have everything stored publicly and visible to see. So there would be no real way for fraud to even happen, which is pretty cool. That's just one idea. Another idea I had is that using a blockchain, creating digital assets, would allow for there to be a legitimate supply and demand of these items. Something that I really don't like is that game developers release these items, into the shop, and you can go buy them, but there's essentially an infinite amount of these items. If you're in the game and you go and you buy a cool pickaxe, if everybody in the world had enough money to buy that pickaxe, they could go and buy it, and there really isn't a legitimate supply of that item. And so therefore, its rarity is really just up to how Epic Games decides to say that it is. Epic Games can say, well, this is rare because it's rare. Whereas with a blockchain, they could create a digital asset that has an immutable supply. So maybe they create 5,000 of this, amazing, cool designed pickaxe, and they say, hey, there's only 5,000 of these. When they're gone, they're gone. That would create a legitimate supply and would give an item a real rarity versus a artificial virtual rarity, which I think is really, really cool. And I think that that supports a much better economy and market for items in Fortnite. And this brings me to my next point.
Don't smoke crack.
Third-party marketplaces for buying and selling Fortnite items. I'm really, really excited about this one. And I feel like above and beyond, this example is one of the best ones for, blockchain technology and things like that. Now, back to the previous example, actually, if I were to buy that, pickaxe that had a quantity of only 5,000, I would actually own that asset. It would be dropped into my wallet. Epic Games wouldn't own it anymore because I bought it, and I would actually have physical, digital ownership of that item. And so the cool thing is that since I have ownership of that item, I would be able to sell that item or buy another item if there was a marketplace that existed. And that's where I think Fortnite could create a marketplace. Think like eBay, but for Fortnite items. I could throw up my items that I don't want anymore, and I could sell them. Just like I would sell, maybe a video game that I have, or a book, or a tech device on eBay. I would be able to throw it up. People could either bid or just, buy it now. And it would all be handled with, back-end code that would automatically distribute my digital asset of maybe a pickaxe or something, and it would just drop it straight into their wallet peer-to-peer. Now that would be really, really cool. Not only would that allow for, people to actually utilize what they've bought, they would be able to continue to use the value that they've paid for. Beyond that, they would be able to actually earn money on the things that they've sold. So yeah, that's what I was thinking for this buying and selling marketplace. Another thing is that this would allow for the creation of a user-backed economy versus Epic Games setting the value for everything. Obviously, they would set the initial value, but then from then on, it would basically be regulated and controlled by the actual community. It would be a legitimate economy, which is pretty cool. Now, like I said, if you bought some rare item and you decided to sell it, at the moment, you can only kind of sell it back to Epic Games, and they'll like refund your purchase if it's been within 30 days. But what if you could sell it to the highest bidder? Maybe even Ninja himself. Maybe he could buy your item. How cool would that be? And additionally, Epic Games could actually charge, a little microtransaction fee for that taking place, and so that's how they could monetize and earn money from people using their marketplace. So yeah, those are just some ideas I had for a buying and selling marketplace in Fortnite. Let's move on to the next idea. So a lot of games offer, daily sign-in rewards and achievement rewards if, a player does something awesome in the game. But my thought is, what if users could be rewarded with Epic Coin for logging in? They could get a little chunk of cryptocurrency every day for, logging in and contributing and playing, and perhaps even for like winning a game of Battle Royale, they would receive a chunk of Epic Coin tokens that they could then go use, and that would incentivize more people to actually, play the game and contribute. So that's another way that a blockchain could help legitimize the world of Fortnite. Now we're going to move on to the next idea, Twitch betting. Sports betting was just recently made legal in the United States, obviously for people who are of age. However, I was thinking esports betting is something that is kind of on the rise, and it would be a really cool way for Fortnite streamers to be able to engage with their fans and also potentially make some money. So my thought is that Twitch could integrate some blockchain service that would allow for people to bet Epic Coin on the outcome of certain games. So imagine you have a favorite streamer and you want to bet that they will win a game, or maybe they'll last to like 25 and then get killed. You can bet on the outcome of games, and then people can bet on your bet or create new bets, and you bet against the house, which would be Twitch, or you can bet against your friends and win money. This would be really, really cool for things like the Fortnite Pro-Am live streams, where there's like a big tournament and people could bet and predict the outcomes of the games of Fortnite, which would be super, super cool. People would be way more engaged who are watching your streams, and it would provide a way to, to encourage them to keep coming back, which would be really, really cool. Now let's move on to the last idea I had, which was game currency conversion. Now, Epic Coin is the hypothetical cryptocurrency of Epic Games, but Epic Games has a lot more games than just Fortnite, right? There's games like Infinity Blade, Unreal Tournament, and Shadow Complex, games like that. Now, Fortnite right now is the hottest game. It's like the most popular game right now. And obviously, a lot of people are playing it, a lot of people are putting money into it, but what if in a year there's some new game, or people decide, Fortnite, meh. Wouldn't it be nice if all of the money and time and effort that I put into a certain game could be exchanged to another game? Maybe, Epic Games, Epic Coin can work in Fortnite, in Infinity Blade, in Shadow Complex. Maybe it works in each of those games. That'd be cool. Or, additionally, Epic Games could create Fortnite token, Shadow Complex coin, or whatever, and have an exchange where I could sell my Fortnite coin for Shadow Complex coin, etc., and be able to transfer that value to another game so I don't have to build it all up again. It would allow me to take what I've already earned and then use it somewhere else, which would be very cool. And if you think about that, in a lot of disciplines in the real world, that's how it works. Let's say I get really into paintball, and I invest in all this gear, really expensive paintball guns and hoppers, and I honestly don't know very much about paintball, but, in the real world, if I invest in all this stuff, when I decide that I'm done playing paintball, I can sell it all, maybe on Craigslist or eBay, and then get my money back, sort of. Maybe I won't get it all back, but I would lose some in the exchange, and then I would be able to then use that money to go and invest in a new hobby or a new, sport or whatever I'm interested in. So I think that this could be a really valuable way for value to be exchanged between games. Now, maybe Epic Games has their own cryptocurrency, EA Sports has their own cryptocurrency, and there's an exchange that will basically trade my Epic coin for EA Sports token. Maybe 5 Epic Games tokens equal 1 EA Sports token, something like that. And I could trade them for that value and then pump that into maybe a new EA Sports game that came out. And, obviously there's a lot that needs to go into, making this work and for it to be successful. And also all these huge companies need to get on board with cryptocurrency, which at the moment, it's been a slow process. But yeah, these are some of the ideas where I think Fortnite could go from just doing microtransactions to expanding into a wide, crazy world of blockchain. Things like the third-party marketplace could be really, really cool for engaging the community, as well as creating a legitimate supply and demand for items instead of just like a virtual supply. And then beyond that, things like Twitch betting would be really cool. Achievements that are written to a blockchain so they're secure and immutable. Lots of cool ideas here. So yeah, thank you guys for watching this video, and we'll see you in the next one.